I don't want to keep referring people to the old video because times have changed. Like, if you know, you know. We have to come a little different. It needs to be new and improved. How to start your business with no money in 2022. If you've been an OG, then you know that I initially uploaded a video a couple years ago about how I started my business with zero money and how that helped me create money and profits within my business that I was not expecting going into it. And the time has changed. Of course, it's been 2 years. No, it's been way longer than 2 years. I did that in 2016. It is 2022. That was 6 years ago. My math is correct. That was 6 years ago. I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna tell you what I wish I knew 6 years ago when I started that and what I would do different now. Because I get a lot of videos. I get a lot of questions in my Instagram about how to start a business, where's the vendors, how do I, turn profit? How do I reach my target audience? How do I basically do these things to turn my business into actual business with no money? I don't want to keep referring people to the old video because times have changed. Like, if you know, you know. Times have changed now. So that means that we have to come a little different. And of course, it needs to be new and improved. And that's what I'm here to do right now, is to give you a new and improved version of how to start your business with no money in 2022. So if it sounds like something that you're interested in, be sure to stay tuned so you do not miss these gems. What I wish I knew back then was what to do with my money. 1, 2, I had a tighter, I guess you could say the process is a little bit tighter. Like, I wrote down the process and stuff, but if I had followed up with people a little bit harder or had people that were a little bit more serious and I really targeted my audience a little bit better, I would have got a little bit better results that would have progressed into something more beneficial than what took place. At the time, hair was way cheaper. People were more willing to do things when you asked them and all they had to do, like, they knew they were getting something free out of it. Like, these are things that I would still probably do today, but it was just a little bit more of like some push and structure. They needed to be implemented into it because I was supposed to have a location. I was supposed to have like a photographer, and not saying that I didn't have those things, I did. It was just when time and people's schedules conflict, it just slips into the cracks of the plan and a plan fails. And just having more knowledge about business and what it truly means to like have a business and how to grow. Like, it's not about you instantly getting the LLC. It's not about you instantly making the profit. It's not about you instantly just having this big popping like business. Like, all those things matter, but in the beginning, it's just like really take the time to define the purpose. Right? Those are just a few things that I would change from back then. And now going into 2022, if I had to do it again, this is what it would look like. I'm only sharing this because it's not something that I'm currently pursuing. Like, my goal is not to sell hair anymore. It's kind of shifted just because of my experience and my perspective of everything. And I see that there are areas that need to be fixed so that people like you or people that are currently in business, they need to be able to sustain themselves longer and better, especially as being Black and brown community people who are pursuing these things. It matters that we need to fill in the gaps where we are lacking in certain areas that are important. As I list these things in this process, feel free to like tweak it and make it your own so it fits your business. But I'm just give y'all the steps and you take from it what you want to. This is advice. It's not like me reiterating something that somebody else has done or anything like that. This is just solely advice if I were in your shoes and I just didn't know the answer. I would develop, one, my brand name. Because in 2022, a lot of people are branching out into like their own business. Having a brand name that is unique and easily identifiable, easy to spell, it would be beneficial to help people. Now, if I was going into it and still having Think Pretty, I would keep Think Pretty. Like, Think Pretty is dope. But now I notice like a lot of people are using that as their business name, and it kind of makes it difficult for me to separate myself from the other Think Pretties that are out there. I have to choose something that is unique. For example, Joy, I think that's her name, Joy or Joy, Bow Wow's baby mama. I don't know her real name or whatever, but I think that's her name. Her outfit line is Life with Joy or Life in Joy or something like that. Very cute, very catchy. The last part is, well, her name is spelled not like the regular Joy, but it's easily identifiable because you know that you can associate the person with the brand, and they're kind of one and the same because she's on that, you know, fitness thing, and it's what she's doing, and people know who she is outside of her brand. That's kind of like one example. Or there's a lot of hair by so-and-so, or this by that person. Those are cool, but you can get a little bit more creative to really make your purpose stand out. Think Pretty for me was think positively, embrace your pretty. Now, of course, that was the mindset of getting women to understand like they can be themselves. They can wear weaves, they can wear makeup, they can be whoever it is that God called them to be, and stand in that positively and embrace it completely. And that would still be something that I would align the brand with. But what mattered next is having that brand name, Think Pretty, and then setting the example of what my brand is in that. This will be part 2. I have to target my audience. I cannot have a conflicting presence of my brand and expect my audience to just come to me. You know, I can't, for example, if Think Pretty is a luxury brand, I couldn't have no shade. Like a Megan Thee Stallion, the example of my brand. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. Not because Megan's not luxurious, but she doesn't sell that lifestyle herself. So why would I put that on her? If she's not actively doing it herself, or she's not even in that realm, why would I put that on her? Something that she would be great for is fitness. She's starting like this whole fitness wave thing. She's into it. If I was launching a fitness brand, she would be the perfect person to gain audience and traction from my brand. But it doesn't mesh if it's a luxury beauty business and Megan. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And I know she has like natural hair care, like ads and stuff, but that's a little different from this because that's not my brand's identity if it was luxury, right? Another person, I wouldn't have like Miley Cyrus represent Think Pretty. It just doesn't go together. Think of her audience and then think of luxury. Do they go together? No. Not saying Miley Cyrus is not luxurious. Not saying that. It's just that's not what she sells. So why would I go to her for help? You know, you wouldn't go to an eye doctor for help about your knee. They're both doctors. They're both credible, but you wouldn't go to one for the other. You know, hope that made sense. I hope that is making sense. So if I'm representing luxury, I wouldn't call Miley Cyrus, or I wouldn't call Megan Thee Stallion. I would call Sierra luxury. She leads a lifestyle of a classier woman, a woman of class, basically, a woman who stands in her presence of who she is. She's a positive person, and she ain't messy from what I've been seeing as of lately. In her older years, she's luxury, you know, she's fly. Another luxurious type of person, Lori Harvey. Good example of a luxurious type of representation that she sells. So these are just some things to like keep in mind. Not saying like, I just don't want anybody to take this like deeply personal when I say these things. So you'll want somebody to represent your brand, or for you to think of these people like, if Think Pretty's luxury, let me think of Sierra and let me think of Lori Harvey, and just zone in on who they are. Like, what do they wear? How do they style their hair? Where do they work? What do they do for work? Okay, what do the people that follow them do for work? Let me look at the people that are following them on social media. Let me see who is actually liking certain posts. Let me see, because I'll want to start to target my brand around that to capture those people, not take those people away from them. Like, come on, not take them away, but to really understand my audience. Where does my audience shop? What do my audience do on a day-to-day basis? Where can I find them at? Okay, my brand represents positivity and embracing your pretty. These are pretty women. So what is it that defines that in my brand, and how can I define that for my audience that is not too complicated for them to comprehend? Fashion Nova does a good example of this. They pitch this streetwear lifestyle, cute, bougie type of brand, and they have the right people for it. Look at the people that reflect their business and like model their business. That's their audience. Boom. That's really good. They know their audience. So the second thing would be to just really study your audience. Not just, this is who I want my product to be sold to, my brand to be sold to. Like, no. Think of who these people truly are. Because when you can figure those things out, you can figure out number 3, their pain points. What is something in your brand, in your business, the products that you're going to be selling, that you will touch these people's pain points in? My pain point initially was the college student being able to access convenience, like the convenience of affordable hair, the convenience of getting their hair done, the convenience of hair lasting, and like you being able to do stuff with it and it not burn away, you know, the convenience of color, the convenience of being able to switch your wigs out, the convenience of your wigs even lasting a long time. I was selling that. That was my pain points of my business. And honestly, with Think Pretty, if it was to do it again, it would be the same principles of convenience. Now the audience would change though. That was a big marketing tool of my business. So like, it was important for me to live out what I am selling. So if I'm not 19 and in college no more, I'm 25 and an adult, my life is changing, I work out, I want to provide that convenience of, you can wear this weave when you work out, you can do this, you can do that. You know, you can be on the go, you can travel with this weave. Like stuff that you would see as like pain points in people, and it reflects in your products of what you can do. Hope this is making sense. Thumbs up if this is making sense, or drop a comment if like it's not making sense and you're like, what are you talking about? Because I don't want to lose y'all here. I want to make sure that what is being talked about is like understandable content, understanding the pain points of these people.